The Deathclaw, one of the wasteland's most vicious creatures. The scaly, hulking beasts patrolling the wastes, waiting for the next unlucky traveler to feast on. Like all mutant creatures of the wasteland, Deathclaws first mutated from a pre-war animal, but unlike most creatures, the Deathclaw actually predates the Great War. Before the war, the US government, in an attempt to create a cheap replacement for US combat troops, performed a host of experiments on the Jackson chameleon, successfully engineering the first Deathclaws. After the Great War, the captive pre-war Deathclaws escaped, spreading across the wasteland where they can now be found from the deserts of Nevada to the Boston Commonwealth and everywhere else the Fallout series has ventured to. Deathclaws, much like other mutated wasteland creatures, are significantly larger than their pre war counterparts, with the Deathclaw being among the largest creatures you may find on your travels. Unlike their pre war ancestors, Deathclaws are bipedal, which, when standing upright, gives them immense height compared to other creatures. Although typically bipedal, Deathclaws have shown an ability to run on all fours when chasing prey, as most notably seen in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, although in earlier games, Deathclaws are seen running on their hind legs, both at great speeds, which, when combined with their incredible strength and large, sharp claws and armor like skin, makes the Deathclaw one of the Wasteland's most formidable enemies. Deathclaws are carnivorous and typically hunt in packs, each pack being led by an alpha Deathclaw. Alpha Deathclaws are typically the strongest members of their pack, with the remaining members of the pack following alongside during hunts and migration. Deathclaws communicate within their packs using a series of growls and changes in body language, much like some pack animals of the real world. Deathclaws are known to be extremely territorial animals and will defend their territory fiercely. Many unlucky travelers may find a bitter end at the hand of these beasts should they stray too far into a Deathclaw's neck of the woods. Players can find many such areas infested with Deathclaws throughout their playthrough, most notably the Quarry Junction location in Fallout New Vegas, where many new and unsuspecting players attempting to quickly reach New Vegas will be made quick work of by the beasts infesting the area. And to end this segment, we finish off with their reproduction. Deathclaws, being reptilian in nature, reproduce by laying eggs in large clusters, with the strongest members of the pack being the ones to reproduce and create the next generation of Deathclaws to inhabit the wasteland. Deathclaws come in many shapes, colors, and sizes, varying from the lowly juvenile to the mighty alpha, with each possessing unique characteristics separate from each other. In this segment, we will detail many of the variants found throughout the games. Note, I will not be going over unique/named Deathclaws, such as Rar from the Lonesome Road DLC, cut content like the Quantum Deathclaws originally slated for inclusion in the Nuka World DLC, or event Deathclaws, such as the Prime Deathclaw from Fallout 76. Those will be discussed in another video, so stay tuned for that. Baby Deathclaws, as the name suggests, are Deathclaws who have yet to reach adulthood. During this adolescent stage, they may lack their horns and spikes characteristic of their fully grown counterparts. While smaller, being only about half the size of their fully grown counterparts, these variants are still just as deadly as their adult brethren, if not slightly more manageable in a fight. Young Deathclaws are in many ways similar to their baby Deathclaw counterparts, albeit larger and boasting increased speed and strength than their younger siblings. While still not as powerful or as large as their adult brothers, these Deathclaws will give even large groups of Wastelanders a hell of a fight. Adult Deathclaws are Deathclaws who have reached peak maturity, reaching their maximum physical size and strength, while also now featuring the Deathclaw's trademark horns, which have fully formed by this point. Alpha Deathclaws are typically the oldest Deathclaws of their pack and thusly the leaders of said pack. Possessing great physical strength even in comparison to other adult Deathclaws, these variants feature larger, curved horns and sport a darker complexion than their younger counterparts. Mother Deathclaws are the members of the pack responsible for the birth and nurturing of Deathclaw young. These variants are distinct from others of their species, most notably due to their bluish complexion and rear facing horns. Found exclusively in the Mojave, blind Deathclaws are Deathclaws which have lost their eyesight. These Deathclaws are physically weaker than the average Deathclaw but possess increased hearing abilities to compensate for their lack of eyesight, making sneaking around these variants virtually impossible. Intelligent Deathclaws are variants which have been engineered to have greater intelligence than their standard counterparts, with some examples possessing intellect comparable to even adult humans. These Deathclaws have been known to be able to speak and have advanced sentience, developing their own unique culture and philosophies. These Deathclaws are only known to appear in Fallout 2, where they are eliminated by Frank Horrigan. These next Deathclaws are exclusive to Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. Albino Deathclaws are Deathclaws which sport a pale white color and carry more health than a standard Deathclaw. Glowing Deathclaws are Deathclaws which have become highly irradiated due to prolonged radiation exposure, sporting neon green marks across their entire body. On top of their high ballistic damage, these variants also inflict radiation damage with each strike. Chameleon Deathclaws are Deathclaws which are capable of changing color during battle, displaying colors such as red, blue, green, and so on. When killed, the Deathclaw will remain the color it was displaying when it was killed. Mythic Deathclaws are the highest level Deathclaws found in Fallout 4 and second highest in Fallout 76. These variants are visually similar to their standard counterparts. Similar to the Deathclaw mothers discussed earlier, Deathclaw matriarchs are the female counterpart to the Alpha Deathclaw and are responsible for the birth and nurturing of Deathclaw young. These variants sport horns which curve out and down, the opposite of the standard Deathclaw's horns. Exclusive to Fallout 76, these variants are Deathclaws which have been affected by the Scorched Plague ravaging Appalachia, with each variant in Fallout 76 having a corresponding Scorched variant which can be encountered in your playthrough. And with that, Wastelanders, we have reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, consider hitting the subscribe button and liking this video, and comment down below, what creature should I look at next? Let me know what you guys think, and remember, war. War never changes.